Hello guys, welcome to Basic Nursing Classes. Myself Amanpreet. Today we are moving on with our topic diabetes mellitus. In the previous videos we discussed about its types, its risk factors, complications and management. And now we are going to discuss about insulin. Insulin, it's a very basic topic and many questions they come in exams, especially NCLEX, about how much insulin we have to give and which route we have to give and when to give, and we will discuss all these issues in this video. So let's move on. Firstly, as you can see that I have drawn a graph uh, which represents the levels of insulin in our body and the number of hours which are according to the each insulin. Okay, so number of hours which insulin takes to reach the peak and represents the duration through which it remains in the body through 24 hours. Okay, and the hours are from 0 to 24 for a normal day, and the levels you can see when it starts rising up and when it reaches the peak and when it comes down. Okay, so as you can see, first the glargine, it has no peak. Okay, and but aspart or lispro, which are the same, and regular insulin and NPH, you can see their onset, their peak and the duration through which they remain in the body for number of hours. Okay, so let's move on with aspart or lispro. These are same, and the other name is also Humalog. So Humalog, its onset, it begins to work in our body within 15 to 30 minutes. It's very rapid, and it reaches its peak in 30 minutes. Okay, and it remains in our body for 3 hours. Okay, so it is given only if the food is immediate food is available on our table. Don't give if the food is not available, because if we give the injection Lispro to the patient and food is not there, the patient can go into hypoglycemic condition, and that condition is very, very dangerous. Okay, and insulin R, it begins to rise in our body within 1 hour. It takes 1 hour and it reaches its peak in 2 hours, and the total duration, it is for 4 hours. Okay, and regular insulin, it is clear, it's a clear solution, it's rapid acting. Okay, and Lispro is also rapid acting. Okay, these both insulins are rapid acting insulins, but regular insulin, that is clear. Okay, then comes the NPH. NPH is onset, it begins to work within 6 hours. Okay, it is not so rapidly acting, so it's immediate acting, and it reaches within peak within 8 to 10 hours. Okay, and duration, it remains in the blood for 12 hours. Okay, so it is intermediate acting. But the glargine, that is very slowly acting, long acting, you can say long acting insulin. It is slowly absorbed, it has no peak, no onset, and it remains in the blood for almost 12 to 24 hours, but you can say almost for 24 hours. Okay, so it's a long acting, and the best time to give glargine is at bedtime, because the patient the blood sugar remains within control. We don't need to check for its levels in the blood sugar levels from time to time in the night. Okay, so it's very safe to give at the bedtime. And apart from these, you have to remember some important points regarding insulin. And first is which insulin you can give IV, that is only regular insulin. Okay, no other insulin is given IV, only regular insulin is given through IV route. And both regular insulin and Lispro, these can be given on sliding scale according to the prescription. Okay, and NPH, that is given, if it is given in the evening, then give it only when there is available bedtime snack of protein and complex carbohydrates. And the example of protein and complex carbohydrate, you can take it as cereals with milk, because milk has both protein and carbohydrates, and cereals, they are rich in complex carbohydrates. Or the other thing is crackers with peanut butter. Okay, crackers with peanut butter. Crackers, they are rich in complex carbohydrates, and peanut butter, it is rich in protein. Okay, and apart from that, always check the expiry date before giving the insulin. Okay, and once we open the insulin vial, it expires within a month. Okay, so always note down the date of opening the insulin vial. Okay, and you have to teach the patient to keep the insulin refrigerated at home. Okay, so these are the main important points to remember and teach to the patient. And one thing more, if the patient is exercising, then it means he is taking another shot of insulin. So if the patient is exercising more, then obviously he needs less dose of insulin. Okay, remember that. So if the patient is doing too much exercise, physical activity, so he will have to his blood sugar levels before taking the prescribed levels of insulin. Okay, and in the next video we are going to discuss about how to mix the two insulins together. Okay, so till then, good luck for exam. Thank you.